Welcome or welcome back to Tricia Talks Podcast. I'm your host, Tricia, and we're here having conversations about life as a Christian millennial woman. Welcome to the chat. Today, we are having a conversation about entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is something that I know many of us have, if we have not already dibbled and dabbled in it or are one by nature, it's something that we are all familiar with. And as women, it is also in our nature to be nurturers and to have a little extra little reservoir. And we work with our hands. The Lord has given us brains that we are ingenious. We are innovators. We are natural fixiters, get it doners. We are natural solutionists. That's what we are. We find a way. Well, most of us, because some women. I wanted to talk about this though, because entrepreneurship is a journey. And it is one that requires much wisdom, much patience, much grace. It is a journey, but it is a beautiful journey if done the right way. All right. First of all, I want to point out something very important. Entrepreneurship and business ownership are two different things. Okay. Just because you own a business does not make you an entrepreneur. Okay. An entrepreneur is someone who has a vision. For example, let's do Tricia's Touch Publications. God gave me a vision for a business. The business came with purpose. It wasn't just for profit. And that's something we'll get into in a second. But the business came with a purpose, right? So I had a vision about a business to make stationery items to help women to write out their thoughts, to get out their feelings, their emotions, to write out their plans, to organize their lives, to help their life become more seamless, easier flow, as well as to help us to heal from some of the pain and trauma and things that we've experienced in life. So with that, my entrepreneurial mind said, how are we going to get to that point? We're going to purchase a printer. We're going to purchase a paper cutter. We're going to purchase a machine to punch the holes. We're going to purchase the rings to go in the bind, to bind the books together. We're going to purchase a laminating machine. We're going to learn graphic design so we can make our own covers, right? We're going to watch and invest time, energy, money into figuring out how I can take my idea and put it into a physical product. Okay, so that's what I did. I learned the dimensions of where to cut the paper, how to punch the hole. What do I need to do to make my cover thick enough? You know what I'm saying? So it's not just a flimsy piece of paper that's laminated. Ew. So that is an entrepreneur, taking the vision and making it into an actual product to sell. I happen to also be a business owner. So I have the business mind as well as the creative visionary mind. Not all entrepreneurs also have that business aspect, and they then need to learn how to delegate so that they can hire or bring in barter. Bartering is a very, very good tool, especially for new entrepreneurs. But figure out how to barter your skills for something they have to offer so that you can get what you need. Okay? So yeah, I just wanted to point that out first of all. Entrepreneurship and business ownership are two different things. I spoke at a conference this summer, a women's conference this summer, and one of the questions that was posed to me was about their business. People were pushing or kind of encouraging her to start what she was doing out of mission and ministry and purpose. People were pushing her to start doing it for profit. And that's not something that was on her heart to do or she felt led to do. And that is something that we also have to consider. Everything is not for profit. I run businesses and they are for profit. However, because I am God's child and I am connected to my creator, there are many things that I do complimentary that I don't receive pay for at all, because I am a servant of God at the end of the day. And God makes up for that all the time. He makes up for it. One way or the other, he'll make up for it. Whether it's extension of life or whether it's a blessing that you have yet to receive, whether it's someone coming and just dropping money on you, whether it's someone that then comes and signs a contract or becomes a new client that will pay you more or double, triple, 10 times more than what you've sown into whoever God has led you to give a complimentary or free service to. Now, I've been in business. Tricia's Touch has been in business. May of 2025 will mark 10 years of business. 10 years is a long time. Jesus. Okay, so first of all, we have 6 months to plan a celebration. That just hit me. So we're going to do that first and foremost. Ooh, are we? Because Brooke also graduates May 2025. So we'll see. We'll see. I think we can do both. I think we can do all the things. We need to celebrate this. 10 years of business is a big, big deal. So anyway, I just wanted to, what I was saying about that. I've been in business for 10 years, so I have experience and knowledge about entrepreneurship. My business started because I had a vision. It was something that I saw, an idea, and that sparked. And the way my brain thinks, I don't just get an idea, but I have an idea, and then I will develop systems and tools, operation manuals, how to proceed in the flow of that business, the runnings, the goings-ons of the business, y'all. Okay. Now, I hope by now, y'all, this is episode 8. So I really hope by now that you all have gotten to the realization that there are 972,000 things going on in my brain right now while I'm trying to have this conversation with you. So I've been trying to keep myself together to not burst out in a song or a movie script or a TV show or a conversation that I had with somebody. I'm trying to stay focused, but it's a million things going on in my head. And that's what I love about my brain. I entertain myself. I'm a movement by myself, but we're a force when we're together. All right. You make me better. All right, here's 5 tips for new entrepreneurs. Okay, let's do this. Here are 5 of Tricia's tips for new entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs. The first thing that I recommend is when you start a business, start your business based on the purpose, not based on how much money you want to make. Now, yes, that is obviously in your business plan and it's on the agenda, but that is not the motivating, pushing or propelling force in being an entrepreneur and starting a business. What is the purpose of your business? Who is your target market? Why do they need your product versus someone else's, right? All of these are things that you need to consider and know, and not just know, but you need to be sold on it yourself before trying to sell it to someone else. If you are walking in your purpose, the profit will come. Also, when you are walking in purpose, while you're making money, the challenges that may come in business that do come as an entrepreneur, with your purpose as the primary focus behind it, it helps to keep you going in those stronghold of seasons when everything is in disarray. Okay, when you are connected to purpose more than just money, because when you're connected to profit versus purpose, and when profit is the primary priority, when that business starts getting a little shaky and flaky, you're going to find something else to do, because what you're looking for is money, not necessarily fulfilling a purpose. Once you're sold on a purpose, then also the flow of operations, all of that comes easy to you because you have a vision for how you want to see your product or your service, whatever it is, out in the world. So once you have that vision, and it is connected to a purpose, not just to serve you, but to serve others, then everything else kind of flows smoothly. Yes, you may need to enlist help from someone else who may be an expert in an area that you are not. Say, for instance, a legal expert to make sure that you have proper contracts, and the wording is correct. A financial expert, someone in accounting, and taxes that can make sure that your business is established accurately, and that you are also filing all the documents that you need regularly, appropriately, all of those things. Make sure that you are keeping proper records of your earnings and your spendings. So yeah, having experts in particular areas is important, but you being sold and knowing what your purpose is the biggest motivating factor that will help your business to be sustained and to be successful. Okay, and that leads me to number 2, which is to build systems and not just hustle. You got to have a hustle mentality. Every entrepreneur is a hustler. You have to, because nobody knows anything about your business unless you get out there and you market it yourself. You put your word out there, right? So you have to be a hustler. However, without systems, your business is not sustainable. Hustle is necessary, but systems is required. You have to make sure that you have, do your research and find the automation tools that you'll need to help you to make things smooth and effective. And incorporate templates. Have this is the standard form for this. This is the standard for this. And, your automation tools and systems, they can help you with all of that. You want to make sure that things are, that your hands are not required to be on everything for every step of your business, because that will drain you. It will burn you out. One way that will help relieve you as the entrepreneur and the business owner of that stress is by making sure that you have set up good automation tools. You have good templates in place, that you are comfortable with delegation, and you know where you are delegating whatever it is that you choose to delegate. Delegation is a big thing because you are releasing your control and your stamp and hand from being on whatever task into the hands of someone else. So you want to make sure whoever you are releasing that to understands they have your processes and procedures. They know the flow that you expect them to go and how you want things to be the way that you would do it. So delegation is very big, but it is very necessary. And in order for a business to grow, you have to be able to delegate. You will never be able to grow if you keep your hand on every single thing in business. I made a post the other day and I was saying, business, I'm in a little bit of a weird space with it. I recognize that it is a growth spurt. It is something that I have to acknowledge and I have to embrace and just tackle how we're going to get through this. I have several different entities under Tricia's Touch Enterprises, and I'm currently working to streamline them so that my hands are not required to be on so many steps. Delegation is important, and you have to get to a place to release in order for business to actually continue to grow. You will hit a plateau if you do not expand. Ooh, that's a word. You will hit a plateau if you do not expand. I'm going to let that simmer right there because that is a word. Hallelujah. Now, number 3 is to embrace the learning curve. Business is just like relationships. It's just like anything in life. What I just said, you will plateau if you don't expand. As you grow in business, you're going to see that you're going to need wisdom from other areas that you may not be knowledgeable in. Forget being an expert, but just having any level of knowledge about. And in those areas, you are going to need to dig deep and get to learning. One area for me in business was graphic design. I still to this day do not call myself a graphic designer. Although I do graphic design work, I will not call myself a graphic designer. While I'm educated in it, I've taken classes in it. I know what I'm doing. I know theory, but I also am not a professional graphic designer. And I think that's rude to say when you're really not. Because people have invested hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to school to be graphic designers. So neither here nor there. However, self-taught, and with the courses and the certificates and classes and things like that I have done on graphic design, that's one of my favorite areas of business and services that I offer right now. I love designing graphics. I love doing all of the things from flyers to business cards, brochures, book designs. I love it. Creating stories for Instagram or reels and, video graphics. I love doing that stuff. It gives me so much joy. I have such a good time doing that. And that's something that I was not good at all. There will be things that you don't know, that you are unfamiliar with, that may also be a little bit intimidating. But don't be intimidating, okay? Don't allow fear to cripple you from getting the knowledge that you need so that you can expand and grow. Embrace the curve of learning and learn what you need to learn. Be excited about adding some new wisdom to your business. It's an asset to your business. Okay, number 4 is focus on building relationships, not just sales. Okay. And how that happens is by building trust, how you communicate to them, sticking to your word, whatever your timelines are, whether it's shipping time, processing time, whatever your communication is that you put out to your customer needs to be what you stick to. If something goes wrong with that, if there is a change of any kind with that, it is your responsibility to communicate immediately. You, me, we, all of us that run businesses and are entrepreneurs, we have to learn to be comfortable with being vulnerable and open to people we don't know. That's the only way they are going to get to know us, through a screen. So being comfortable with yourself, being authentic to who you are, flaws and all, quirks and all, stuttering, misspellings, like all the things. This is who I am and I ain't perfect. None of us are. And that's what people connect to, is the fact that we're all just trying to figure this thing out together. This thing called life. We are all trying to figure it out. Build genuine connections. It is just like all the other conversations that we've had this season about relationships, self-esteem, and working on us. All of these things go together. In order to build a genuine connection, you have to be genuinely aware of who you are and be able to genuinely display who you are to people who you may not know, or to even the people that you do know. There are many people in my life right now that's looking at me like, girl, who are you? Or this the girl I used to know. Let's go to number 5. This is my last tip, number 5, last but not least, but this is a good one. And I think all of us can relate to this. Number 5 is to be ready to pivot, but make sure that you stay grounded in your faith. The first thing that came to my mind with this point was the pandemic and how we all had to learn how to pivot in one area or multiple in our lives. I mean, big corporations had to learn how to pivot. There were many retail stores that did not offer online shopping. As small business owners and entrepreneurs, we had to learn how to pivot, how to get on social media and start talking about your business rather than just posting a picture of a journal and saying, this journal's $15 today, it's on sale. No, you got to get out and talk about life. Talk about why they need your journal. Where did your journal come from? The pandemic is definitely one of the most recent and like right in our face examples of how pivoting is necessary. Look at the school system. The school system had to learn like that, how to get our students online to be able to still learn because they couldn't get into a school building. You know what I mean? So learning to pivot and being flexible enough to pivot while maintaining your footing with Christ. Don't lose your faith in God. At the end of the day, God is our source. These businesses, the profit that comes from them, they are resources. At any moment, God could tell me, all right, we done with publications. It's time to move on to something else. And what will I have to do? Close publications and start with something else. Why? Because that's what God has instructed me to do. So as believers and children of God, it should be easy for us to pivot. Now, there are times when things are very lucrative and very successful. And it may be a challenge to just stop and drop that thing that is lucrative and successful to start something different based on God just giving you a word. However, if God has proven himself to you, why question what he's telling you to do next? If he's proven himself to you, there's no reason to question or to doubt what he has in store for you. It is nothing like seeing your idea and your vision and the things that you had in your head and in your heart, the things that make your stomach flutter, to see that stuff manifested and then for it to be manifested and people to be buying it and you receiving a profit from it. It's nothing like that feeling. Entrepreneurship, of course, is not easy. Nothing in life is easy. But if you are called to it, then girl, do what you gotta do. Get yourself together, adjust your attitude, heal your inner self, strengthen your inner self. Do whatever you gotta do so that you can walk in purpose and enjoy the fruits of your labor, of being obedient to whatever it is that God has instructed you to be obedient in. I am enjoying entrepreneurship. I'm enjoying the work that goes into it. I'm grateful for all the lessons that I have learned over the last 10 years. I'm grateful for all the support and the consistent clients and business that I've gotten. I'm really grateful for where I am in entrepreneurship. It is a challenge. There are things that we are working on. I am changing some things in business. It's happening. But it's all going to be for all of our good. It's going to help me be more impactful, and it will also help for my products and services to be delivered and distributed more effectively. So I got a lot of work to do because I am a one-man band, but with the help of the Lord, I'm going to get it done and get it done quickly so that we can move on to the next thing. Because that's another thing about entrepreneurs. We always moving, baby. It's always something else going on in my mind that I got to get done so I can get to the next thing because my brain is always ticking. That's the life of a visionary. So yeah, let's do this. Let's become entrepreneurs together. Y'all need some help? Hit me up. You need some small business tools, tips, coaching. I got you. Tricia'sTouch.com. Okay. And I'll help you with whatever questions I can answer, whatever services I may offer that you may need. We can certainly get that contract signed and get you going. All right. But my primary focus today is to make sure that you are stuck in purpose, that you are 10 toes down in purpose, and whatever you choose to embark on, that it is fulfilling your divine purpose. All right. Thank y'all for watching another episode of Tricia Talks Podcast, episode 8. Can you believe it's been 8 episodes already? But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support. I hope you're getting something out of these episodes. And even if you're not an entrepreneur or not looking to become an entrepreneur, I certainly hope there was something out of this episode that you were able to gain. Like for instance, you're gonna plateau if you don't expand. That was a word that I'm taking with me this week. If you don't expand, you're going to just be right there and stuck. So let's do what we got to do to grow, to evolve. And we'll see you next week right here. Tricia Talks Podcast, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube. Have a good week. Love y'all.